So bow your heads with me. Lord, thank you for this wonderful day that you have bestowed upon us, Lord. Whatever trials that we might be facing or whatever season that we're going through, Lord, you are there with us. As I begin to preach this message, I hope that someone that's either listening to either in Discord VC or in a Twitch video, Twitch streaming, or in the Twitch Pass, or even onto YouTube, hopefully they're blessed by this message, Lord. And hopefully that they'll be able to see, to see it and to be able to believe it as well, Lord. And lastly, I want to pray for whatever direction you want TNL to go. If you want it to keep on going, then let it keep on going. Let it keep on booming. If you want it to sink like the Titanic, then let it sink. Whatever your way is, let it be done for your kingdom in your name. And I praise you for it. And I do it in His Holy Christ's name. Amen. So, amen and amen. I'm actually going to go into a different realm for today. Don't think of it as discouraging. I want to say that probably right out of the gate. Do not think of this as a discouraging message, because it has been placed on my heart. Well, it's been placed on my heart for quite some time, actually. And I've been trying to figure out, how to put it into words and how to really, say it, in an encouraging way is what I'm trying to do. So, you might be new to TNL, or you may just be around. As you look at YouTube videos and stuff, it looks like we started, even in our Discord server, it looked like we started maybe about 2 months ago. But would you ever believe me that we started before this? And that we also started under a different name? The reason I wanted to talk about this, there's a particular verse in the Bible. Actually, 4 verses, to be precise. It's been hitting me hard. It's been hitting me cold. It's been, I don't know, it's like been hitting me in a different way. Nugget, do you want to get these verses and read it for us? Or do you want me to do everything? Whatever you're comfortable with.
Where?
Do you want to be able to, if I were to give you the verses, would you want to do it and read it or not?
Sure.
Alright, I would like for you to pull out James chapter 1 verses 2 to 4.
Okay, Oh, wait a minute. Did I do that right?
Well, you supposed to post it in No Mike the Frick, and then I said James chapter 1 because there's only one chapter. And I said 2 to 4. Because this is not a small group.
Okay. So, James
1 2 to 4.
2-4.
And you're still typing in a small group.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be in No Mike the Frick.
Oh.
James 1, then the column, then 2-4.
Column?
Yes.
Like this?
This.
Oh.
That's how you always bring up verses.
Oh my gosh.
And you're still having trouble pulling up verses.
Oh my god. It's not my fault! I don't know how these things work.
Well, if you look in the bio, if you look at all the other stuff and just like look at it, look at what I did there. And hello, BibleBot. BibleBot is asleep. BibleBot is asleep and not online. Okay, it's cool. I will just go to
It's not
BibleBot later.
online?
No, it's asleep. But if you look, that's how.
Right.
But if you look at just what I put, that's how you're supposed to do it.
Oh, I think I know why it's offline right now.
Because it's being a butt.
No,
Yes.
no, look. Here.
Anyway, speaking of, instead of just going on about the BibleBot, in James 1, chapter 2-4, and I'm going to read from the English Standard Version. It says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produce steadfastness, and let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." So these three verses have been really stuck with me ever since this journey started. Because we all have trials and we all go through seasons. And we all know that it is testing our faith. And we don't like that. You know, the first thing we want to see is like, how can I comfort this child? How can I get out of this trial? God, relieve me from this trial. If we didn't go trials, if we didn't go through seasons, do we really need God? If we can do everything on our own, if we didn't need that, then why would we need God in the first place if you think about it? So back to my story. I want to be connecting these verses because it's been hitting me hard. So originally this started almost like over a year ago actually. This has been such a train wreck. So it started under PGC, which that acronym stands for Providence Group Chapel. That was its original name before it ever came to be TNL. Before it ever came to be the actual New Light Ministry. And you're probably wondering, thinking, how did that happen? Well, we've been hitting a lot of bumpy roads, to be honest. And to be honest with you, I never see myself starting a ministry. I never see myself as like a leader, a founder, or even a pastor. Like, I never see myself of that type of person at that particular time. You know, God told me, do a ministry. And you know what I said? Go get someone else to do it. Go get someone else. Go somewhere. Please just go somewhere and get someone. That person, yeah, get that person. That person could probably handle it well. Or get someone that's in the in this VC right now. Get Nugget to handle ministry, or Whisper. Get one of them to handle ministry. God, I, not me. I don't have the tools. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. You know, sometimes God does put us in that position where we have zero skill set, zero, nothing. I did not know how to run a ministry, and I went to dozens of people at this time that I hardly talk to now. They told me, saying like, "Oh, we see you running as a ministry. Yeah, I believe God is calling you out." I was like, "You gotta be kidding me! You gotta be kidding me! Me? Are you serious? Me, right? Not this other person or that person. Me. Okay. Do you know how to run a ministry?" Like, I had to go and research and try to figure out, is this what God's calling me out to do? So, and that's how PGC initially got started. Now, without going to every details of every bumpy road that hit, um, is that there has been several trials, several things that's been happening. Back in PGC, it was going good for the first time. It was. It felt like I had a number of people that was actually helping me at that point than how it is right now. You know. So when it ended, there was something that's within LGBTQ community. You know, and saying that, oh, just because we have this rule, we don't really accept LGBT people, which is wrong, and they're taking it and pulling it out of context, just like people would do with the Bible. So that whole thing kind of started, and it was really taking a toll on me. I'm still, even to this day, I'm not the strongest ministry leader. I'm not. And I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say that I am. You can even go to our YouTube, the New Light Ministry YouTube, and if you go to TNL Podcast number 5, you can see how down in the dumps I was. How I was going to throw in the towel. But during the PGC, I had everybody, and then when I deleted it, I feel like God was mad at me. I feel like God was furious at me that I deleted his ministry. And I told him that this was not me. This was not me. Because I didn't know how to handle situations like that. I didn't even know. I didn't know where to start, where to begin. I prefer running like a gaming, server instead of a full-on ministry server. I'd rather do something with like the Legend of Zelda franchise. I love Legend of Zelda, and I would die on a seal as that is my favorite video game series. And I feel like if I were to make that server, I feel like it would be 10 times better than a ministry server. I could do that right now. Don't get me wrong, but handling 2 servers, I feel like that's too much for me to handle when I can hardly handle this ministry stuff. So then I had a group of people I had to apologize and I'm sorry and that they were willing to work with me. And we had to come up with a new name and everything of that. And it became called the New Light Ministry. And that is how the New Light Ministry was formed. Now, this has been around for, a year. You may see it as TNL, oh, it just started like 2 months ago. This must be a new ministry. No. This has been going through several road bumps, several ideas, trying to get it to go, is what it's doing. When it says in verse 2 in James, it says, count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. Did I have joy in my heart of the trial that I was going through? No. It was discouraging me. It was getting me down. It was beating me up. It was kicking me when I'm already down. That's what it was doing. And it's still like that, to be honest with you. I even made podcast 5. And people saying like, oh, like one person will be like, oh, you know why people don't like you? Because you're not a strong leader. And I'm not. It's probably going to take me a long time to probably even get there to be a strong leader. But you know what verse 3 says? For you know that the testing of your faith produced steadfastness. And do you know what steadfastness is? Do y'all know what steadfastness is? People in the chat? Do y'all know what steadfastness is? Or do y'all not know? Fastness. What is that? Well, I don't know if any of y'all are going to be answering, But it's basically perseverance. And that's what this testing of your faith does. It produced perseverance. And I kept on going with this ministry. Despite of what people have said to me, and me still trying to compare other Christian servers to this server, I still persevere. There has been multiple times where I just wanted to quit. But if life was just a straight way with no road bumps, then we wouldn't really need God, because we could handle that. We wouldn't need God to handle that straight road with no bumps in it, nice, smooth, straight, narrow road. Because we could just walk on it. We don't have to worry about anything, nothing. Because it's straight. Does it curve? Then we wouldn't really need God. We wouldn't really need God at all, period. If our life was like that, and it's just, you know how people always say your life is like an emotional roller coaster? Well, it is. If we didn't have that, and if it was just straight and we were able to handle everything on our own, then we wouldn't need God in the first place. If my ministry was going successfully, then I wouldn't need God in the first place. If I knew how to run a ministry, I wouldn't need God in the first place. I could just sit here and run a cult. But it's not. God intended me to run a ministry, whether I like it or don't. So far over this year, of these bumpy roads, I did enjoy it. I met wonderful people, and then I don't even talk to them anymore. The first person that was helping me a lot was Kat. She was helping out. She was on the coordinator. She was doing so much behind the scenes with me. Until something with LGBT started to happen. And then I had someone named Coco that was helping out. And then this is where it starts to get sketchy within the ministry. I don't know when it was the biggest downfall for TNL. There could be numerous things that could be said that this was the main downfall. But I feel like after PGC, it just went downhill. All them people that I used to talk to, I hardly get to see them anymore. The people that I produced friendships with, that was helping out with the ministry, saying that they were going to be there for me and helping me, and then not seeing them anymore. Like Coco, for instance. Hardly talk to him. Cav, hardly talk to him. Someone that goes by the name of Foxy, hardly talk to him. Fight for Faith, hardly talk to her. Like all these nice people. And I don't even see them anymore. And that probably happened to you, and your brain gets wired. Maybe the same as me, but your brain gets wired to keep thinking, oh, it's your fault. You must have done something wrong to cause them to run away. And I sit there and often compare myself. I have a bad habit of doing that. An extremely bad habit of doing that. Like, I sit there and see, like, smaller servers than this that's doing so much better than the New Light Ministry. Even big servers, I'm seeing them doing better things than this. I'm having a hard time getting around to my staff. I hardly see them in the server. And I'm just doing everything. Trying to improve TNL. People... Let me still go with the story. The New Line Ministry, I thought there was a big thing that I thought could help it, and it was merch. And what does this merge mean? It means that we were going into a different server at this time. And I thought it would be the best for everyone and see where it goes. And I just, like that's the second one is see where it goes. And honestly, I don't know if it actually went anywhere. I don't. I really don't. I don't know if it actually went anywhere. But at that time, I thought it was a big thing. I thought this would help TNL. And the other part of me feels like this was the main downfall. Ever since after the merge, like we able to branch off and come back into the server, but instead we just made a new server, so we didn't have to go in and edit a whole lot of things. We could just add, add the channels, add the roles in there, since it'll be easier on me and other people that was helping during that time frame. But after when the server launched, a lot of people left, and a lot of people inactive. Bree Cheese, didn't mention her name yet. She was actually the helper. The TNL, that logo that you see on the Twitch, that logo, she made that. She made that. Or even our server icon, she made that when she used to be on team. But do I hear from her anymore? No. And to me, it's sad. And it gets me down. Like I said at the beginning, I don't want this to be a discouraging message to y'all. The song that I played, This Is My Testimony? This is part of my testimony within the New Light Ministry. I didn't put those songs just because I wanted to put those songs. So ever since after that, people left and inactive. People complained this is not the old TNL. And then people started to leave, left to right, and be active in other servers. Like I've seen, people that's in my server that's more active than other servers. And when I see that, like I said, comparing again, it feels like it's getting me down, beating myself up. Me actually sitting there holding my fist up to my face and ready to punch myself. But through all of that, when it says verse 3, for you know the testing of faith produced steadfastness, basically perseverance, I was still persevering through this. And then verse 4, let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. When we go through trials, we want them to be removed. We don't want to go through them. We don't want to go through the hardships. We don't want to go through the pain. We don't. The first thing we'd be like, God, remove this. Or even when COVID happened, how many of us are willing to say that I pray for God for COVID to be removed? But what if it was God's initial plan? And maybe you don't fully understand it. Just like with the trials that we face and the seasons that we go through. It's hard. It even says in verse 2, count it all joy, my brothers. All, not some, not few. And it says, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. That corny saying where you make mistakes, the only way to learn from them, you gotta make mistakes? That's the only way we learn. When we grow up, our parents didn't have to teach us how to lie. We did that on our own accord. Parents didn't have to teach us to hide our report cards. We did that on our own. We didn't have to go phase to learn how to do that. We did not. But what I'm saying here is that we learn from it and that we grow from it and we to be mature from it. You know, like video games. You know, like Dark Souls. I don't like the game. And you can't, I don't think there's one person in this whole entire world that beat the game boss to boss to boss without dying at all. On their first try, mind you. Not their second try, not their 27 million try. Their first try. Because that game is tough. That game is hard. You're going through the pain. You're going through the trouble. You're going through the trial. And then when you come back, you start to learn the monster's movement. You start to learn what they're doing and how they're doing it. And where can you get attacked? And when can you avoid getting hit as much? And when is the time to strike and hit the most of the creature or the boss? And some people enjoy that. You know? And honestly, we remember things quickly when we go through trials. Yes? Yes. No, I did not. Yeah, give me a minute. They should know that I'm streaming and doing a service. But, we remember those games. But when we play an easy peasy game, we don't remember that much. Like the tutorial, if you just walk down a hallway and say, like, congratulations. I didn't do anything. I literally just walked. I didn't do anything. And with easy games, you're like, yeah, I got the medal. But you don't remember it as much as Dark Souls. Because you feel accomplished. When you try so hard to beat that boss, you feel accomplished. You're like, yeah, I did it. I freaking did it. I beat the boss. It took me several times to beat him. I don't even feel like I want to play any game anymore. I feel like a champion. Oh, yes. Yeah, bask in my glory. I did it. Oh, my gosh. When it says in verse 4, and let fastness have its full effect, that ye may be perfect and complete, you gotta let it take its full effect. Perseverance. And that's what we gotta do. That is testing our faith. If we didn't have these trials, if we didn't have these seasons, then we didn't need God in the first place. You know, if ministry was easy as 1, 2, 3, then I would be rather making a cult at this point. If it was easy 1, 2, 3, but it's not. I still struggle here and there. You know, before like when there was worship songs, nobody was even in the VC. No one. And I didn't even know no one was even watching on the Twitch. And usually I don't get any prayer requests. Hardly anybody comes to the events. And to me, that gets me down. A lot. You know that prayer that I said before the service even started? When I said, God, let it keep going or let it sink like the Titanic. Because God could be having more than just run this ministry. It's possible. God has worked in mysterious and strange ways. But it could also be possible that He still wants me to keep on going with this. You know, and I prayed that prayer so many times because I want it His way, not my way. Because I'm still learning how to do a ministry. I'm still learning, you know. I'm still reading the Bible, still praying, still learning how ministry works and how to get people active and in the server. It's been difficult. Like, I haven't even heard from my own staff. It feels like hardly anybody talks in general feet, the general. The only thing that's active is like the questions of the day that I started. Because I didn't think that would work. I did not think that would work, to be honest with you. I didn't. I honestly thought it was going to be a complete waste of time. Same with the counting bot. In my mind, I was thinking that's going to be a completely waste of time. Who wants to sit there and count or answer a random question? Who in the world would want to do that? It helped. Just out of nowhere. And I saw other servers were doing this, and I thought, it didn't help a whole lot, but it did help some. But still, I see so many servers that's just more active than this. And it just made me feel like, am I a bad leader? Am I doing something wrong? I want to read what someone has said. I want to read it straight from their lips. And this is from hashtag server feedback. And I'm just going to read it because this also applies. You aren't a bad leader. You just complain too much and are ungrateful to the people who are here. And I'm going to break this down one sentence by one, to be honest. I don't know if I complain a lot. And if I do, I'm completely sorry. I do try to be able to persevere. I do try to be a strong leader. If I actually gave up the towel, then I probably wouldn't be here right now. And now I'm ungrateful for the people who is here. I would have to disagree because I'm grateful for everyone that's been here. I don't care how big or small TNL is. It could still be active with those same people that are here. For example, Nugget, she does great creations. She loves to do art, and so far it looks really good. And she feels proud of it, and she sits there and posts it. For people to see. And I have that channel. Some Christian servers do not want that. Some Christians don't like to, self promote or anything like that. But let's keep on reading. Yeah, you wish more people would join. Like I said, I don't care how big or small this is. Instead of complaining how inactive every is. You don't know how blessed you are that you actually have people join after all what TNL has been through. And like I said, I already said some parts of the story, not the full story. TNL has been through a lot, and it's been here over a year, whether you want to see it or not. Maybe God wants you to stay small first, and having a small ministry isn't a bad thing, and it's not. I fully agree with it. Like I said, I don't care how big or small it is. I just wish it was a bit active like it was back in the PGC days. That's what I kind of wish. I try not to complain about much. If people see us complaining, I'm sorry. As long as you help one person, that's all that matters. And I try to remind myself because, my girl is not here right now. She's apparently getting her hair done. I don't know when she's going to start watching this today or if she's not going to watch this today. But so far, she's been, really supportive of this. But I wish it was more than just one person. That's not my girlfriend. But let's keep on reading. So thank you to God on that fact that you have people in this ministry. And this person said this ministry helped me, and I was able to help others. I know it's hard, but that's okay. You have people here that care about you, so focus on them. That sentence right there, it's hard for me to see that. Because people do come and go. You know, like I said, I met some amazing people in my life. They used to be even on staff. That I used to connect with. You know, there used to be like even back in the PGC or back in the old TNL server, every time that I would want to VC, someone would sit there and come at VC and start screaming my name. Do you know how happy that made me be? That made me extremely happy that someone liked it here. But I don't see them anymore. So to me, when it says, I know it's hard, but that's okay, you have people here that care about you. It's hard to see that. It really is. To me, it's hard to see that. But let's keep on reading. Also, Highland, you are way too hard on yourself. Like, chill and love yourself more. You aren't a crap person. Just because TNL is currently a small ministry, not much people are active, doesn't mean that you aren't a crap person. Don't take things personally. And I think that's just a me thing. There's someone that sit there and says that I might be caring too much. I do care about others. You know, I do try to reach out to these people that I care about. You know, and tell them and pray for them. And sit there and say like, hey, how's your day been? Your day's been going good? Well, that's good to hear. You know? Sitting there being with that person, helping that person. But I don't get to see them anymore. And I just take things personally. When I sit there and care, when I first said I care too much, I tend to take things personally. You know, when I don't see anyone's here or anyone's coming to the events, it made me feel like a crap individual. It does. Because I see smaller ministry than this that has more people in VC than I hardly do. And it takes a toll on me. And then here's the last part, this last sentence. You will always have people who do leave, aren't active, and that's okay. That's part of life. And that's true. People do come and go. You know, it was probably a reason for them to be there. Could be a reason for them to not be there. I'm going to read James 1, 2 to 4 again. I just feel like reading this. Like I said, this verse it really stood out to me. And I feel like, I might want to do a whole service on this. Like I said at the start, I didn't want this to be discouraging. It says, count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. Perfect and complete. You know, you could probably understand that trials put you through faith, produce perseverance, right? You can agree with that, right? Yeah. You could probably say it also produces faith. You know, because you're putting faith in God, you're letting Him test. But then you might be thinking, complete. How does this trial, how does this season, this tough season, how does that complete? Me, like a breakup. How is that complete? That makes me more miserable than joy, as it said in these verses. I don't feel joy from that. I don't. And that is our human flesh. our human nature. Because we used to love that person and care for that person and not even be there. So when it says that you may be perfect and complete, it's basically like when you complete a challenge in a video game, like I said with Dark Souls, where you feel so accomplished. Like the last song I just played, Champion. You feel like a champion. You feel like, yeah, I did it. I finally did it. And you feel proud for going through that tough season. Like with even high school or college level. You feel so proud. And high school and college is not easy to do. There's going to be quite a few bumpy roads to be able to get whatever degree you're getting, especially if it's in college. Associates, bachelor's, master's, doctorate. You have to go through this trial. And then when you do it, you feel complete. You feel satisfied. You feel like you finally accomplished it. You finally made it. You finally reached that peak. And you did it. And that's where I wish TNL would be complete. Because right now, I still feel like it's still in a rough spot. And I have tried everything, even new ideas, and stuff like that, and still nothing, or hardly anything. Like, I don't get me wrong, I am thankful for those people that wishes to be here, like Whisper, for instance. Whisper has been here for a good long time. He has been there. He may not be an active individual, but he still, is there. He still lurks. He still peaks. And I'm thankful for some old people that was way back in the day that used to be here. I used to have a great mod go by the name of Chex. She did a wonderful, amazing job of making sure, of the server, and it was active every day. Something completely random. And now, ever since after the merge, TNL just fell apart. It's like a stuck ship in the middle of the ocean, trying to be able to get out or call for help. That is literally where TNL is at. Not trying to be disencouraging at all. And sometimes we feel that way. We feel like we're not even going anywhere. You feel like you tried everything in the possible in the book, and yet you're not going anywhere. You're not doing anything. But if we were to give up, throw in a towel, does that make us any better? If you look at it, like I said, there's been multiple times where I want to do it. But will that make you better? To give up on the dream or that goal that you're trying to accomplish? Would that satisfy you? No, it'll probably make you even more worse than how you already feeling. Like when I deleted PGC, it didn't make me feel any better. It didn't. I'm going to be honest with you. It did not make me feel any better at all, period. I feel like God was furious at me. And other people agreed. Like I said, I may not be the strongest leader out there. My ministry may not be that much impactful like other Christian servers. It may not be as active as I would like it to be. But how many times was I willing to get back up and try again despite of everything? Everything. You know, even when in the process of making TNL, someone that used to be on the team and someone that I used to talk to, he sit there and cussed me a storm, call me a P word, saying that I'm not a Christian leader, I'm a false prophet, like all these things. And that's not Christ-like for someone to do that as a Christian. To sit there and call someone else names and going, ha 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 ha, look at you, so that I can probably feel 10 times better. That's kind of like a bully. You know, I'm having a hard time, having a hard day right now. Let me just pick on you. See how you feel. As Christians, we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to be Christ-like. We're supposed to be encouraging. We're supposed to be lifting, building each other up. Not sit there and try to tear each other down. And I met some idiots in this world. Like someone said, oh no, you watch Pixar. You're going to be doomed in hell for doing that. That's stupidity. And that should not let you get you down. But when something that's really impactful and you really care for, like my ministry, for instance, this New Light ministry, I care a lot about it. You know, when I first started it, I didn't feel it. But after a period of time, I feel like, yeah, I could probably actually do this. Because God has equipped me. God has called me to. You know, even though I'd rather be running a gaming server or making my own video game, instead I'm running a ministry. So whatever trial or season you're going through, don't sit there and pray to God and say remove this. Instead, ask Him to help you to learn from it and to grow from it and to be mature from it. And see, like, why is this happening? Because we often ask that question. You know, God, why is this happening to me? Why not this person, that person? Why me? Out of all the people you could choose in this world that you have made, that you have crafted, why me? You know, and we ask that question because God has a purpose for us, to prosper us, not to harm us. You know, yes, He puts us through trials, but He wants it to be joy. And that's a struggle. This is not an easy task. Being a Christian, it's not easy. It's not. Even running a ministry, it's not easy. You know, someone even told me, you know, a while back, I'm not going to name some names here, but someone told me, you know, quit doing ministry. You can't do this. You know, you say you try and try. Have you looked at the things that you said about the ministry? You know, there are other ministries that are way better than this. Why not just lead people there to sit there and try to build this crappy ministry? Someone actually said that to me. And it hurt. It hurt right there. But when I pick up the book, when I pick up the Bible, these 3 verses started to pop out to me. The first time I just lit there and just opened it, it just went from James chapter 1. It literally opened right there on that spot. And these verses were highlighted. And I felt like God is talking to me. God is trying to tell me something. That's why I prayed that prayer before this whole service. Is this what God wants? Or does He have something better for me in store? It's just another season to help me to grow in Him more? Or to help to learn from this and do something else? You know, we may not know every single thing. And that's what faith is. Once we have faith, we don't know what we're going to get ourselves into. We don't know what the future holds. We don't know what's going to happen. But we should still have faith. Even if it's a scary moment, we should still have faith and be dependent on God and not dependent on worldly things. Like if you have a job and God's telling you to go somewhere else, that may make you less pay, or if it maybe feel like volunteer work. You probably want to be secluded with that job that's making you pay money. You know what money is? That's a worldly thing. Yes, it helps you to get by in this world. Yes, it helps you to get drinks and food that we need. We need water, we need food to eat. And we got to get money to be able to do those. But you can't take that with you to heaven. That's why we should always be faith and trust in God and be fully dependent on Him, despite of everything that could be happening to you. The road bumps, the trials, the seasons. Try to have joy. Try to sit there and examine that trial. Examine that season. Be like, okay, God, what are you trying to tell me? What are you testing me here? Instead of going, why me? Please remove this. Say, God, help me to get through this. Help me to be stronger in you and to be more dependent on you when I go through this trial, when I'm going through this season. So I hope that you're able to learn a little bit history of TNL. Even for people that has been here for a long time, or just a new incomer that thinks TNL had just been around for 2 months, when it hasn't. Like I said, we have been doing new things, like streaming, and doing YouTube things. That didn't start until like 2 months ago. Or over 2 months ago. So we're still trying. I mean, I haven't given up. I'm still trying to persevere, have this steadfastness, as in the book of James would say to me. So, if you don't have those verses, highlight them. You know, and hopefully you feel encouraged from this message. Do y'all have any questions, comments, or concerns for some that's in the VC? Or anything they might want to add? Like any input? Anything? Nugget? Whisper? Hold on, I'm a bit busy with something, okay? I don't know if you want me to wait or close this out. But Nugget, do you have anything you want to add or anything you want to say or any questions? Well, I hope y'all both learn from this and from everyone that's listening through on Twitch or in the past Twitch or even if when it's on YouTube. I hope that this is encouraging. I hope that this is not discouraging. I wasn't trying to be negative with this. Like I said, those three verses really spoke out to me a whole lot. And it really means a lot to me. And
Hello?
it really showed me a lot. Yes, Whisper?
Oh, sorry. Okay, I fixed it. Yes. Is there anything you need me to do, Highland?
I just said, did you have any input, anything you want to add, or any questions or comments about this?
No. Well, I just wanted to say, if you want to keep trying, keep trying. No one's going to stop you or hold you down. But you still have friends that will be here with you. With
Yeah.
you. If when the day you decide to end it all, like decide to do something new on you,
Mhm.
we will we will be there. And to make sure to see if that's what you actually want.
Well, it shouldn't matter
That's
what I want. It should matter what God wants for me.
yes.
All right.
He will guide
Can I get prayer for my prayer life and me having the strength to let
you.
go? Sure, I will be praying for you, Nugget.
So you want me to pray us off?
I'll pray us out, but thank you.
Alright.
I'm just seeing if y'all have any, input about this whole lesson and me going into history of TNL.
Alright, what has God revealed to you in all this? I mean, with all this,
Well,
with
like you
all
said,
the.
like I said in James 2:1 to 2 to 4, it says otherwise. It says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." You
Alright.
know, God never fails to do anything.
Alright.
God is not the God of failure. We may not understand the things that He does or everything that He does, but we can still, persevere, like it says right there. Let For you know that the testing of your faith produce perseverance, steadfastness, and that's what pain does. That pain does produce perseverance. Pain produces faith.
Mm-hmm.
So, do y'all have anything else you wanna? Any questions? Any input or anything else?
Could you guys pray for me too?
Yeah. Well, what you got going on?
Ah, just some things in my life about now. Just like health and a little bit of mental well-being.
All right, mental well-being. Got it.
Mm.
All right, then I'm gonna pray us out.
Mm.
Alrighty. Bow your heads. Holy gracious my Lord, I come to your throne, Lord. Lord, for those that were listening in through this, hopefully they feel encouraged and not discouraged, Lord. Help them to know that whatever trial, whatever season, I hope they're ready to test their faith, Lord. To be able to have that perseverance to keep on going on and on and on and on. Despite of hardships, bumpy roads, everything. Even if people are saying negative things. Hopefully, we can be able to gather ourselves around friends and family, or even a girlfriend and boyfriend.
Even a girlfriend and boyfriend.
Just please help us to be able to do that. I also want to lift up Nugget to you, praying for strength and her to let go of these worldly things, Lord, so that she can be able to grow in you more and more. I try to give her the tools, the equipment, but it's up to her if she's willing to take that effect or not. I can only do so much, but she needs to do it too. So hopefully you'll be able to help her to be more mature in you and to grow more in you. And now I would like to pray for Whisper for his mental well-being. Hopefully you'll um, be able to manage to control it and not be, as mentally. I guess that's a word I could say. But help him to keep on getting closer to you, Lord, and be able to do your will for your kingdom, Lord. And lastly, I want to say this again, what I said earlier. Wherever you want TNL to go, Lord, whatever direction you want it to go, I am fine with either or. It may look like negative if it actually sunk like a Titanic, but who knows, you might have better in store. Or to keep going, and I might be able to meet other people and actually have a full staff and it actually becomes active out of nowhere. Because everything is possible with you. Anything can go with you. So I do pray for TNL's direction. And I do in His Holy Christian name. Amen and amen. Well, I hope that y'all enjoy this wonderful service, whether you're in VC or on Twitch, on live. I hope that this was an encouraging message. These ministry service will also be uploaded onto YouTube Mondays. I was gonna say Tuesday, but so they'll be uploaded on Monday, and I'll be able to let y'all know onto the YouTube channel. Right now, this is our time to fellowship. TNL ministry service do not end just right here at the end of the service. You're welcome to come into the Discord server where we can chill, chat, relax, do what crazy hooligans do, I guess. I don't know if that's the right term to use, but sometimes I feel like a hooligan, so. But, yeah, y'all are always welcome to come and join in the Discord server. I'll make sure to put in the link for y'all in the Twitch chat, just to make sure if y'all are listening or watching again, if you want to join. There we go. We have the whole entire community right there in the Discord server. So I hope to see y'all there, and y'all have a wonderful, blessed, wonderful day, wonderful week. And I will see y'all guys next time or next week for the ministry service. And I'll see you then.